So here we are. It's tied 1-1. And to be honest, this is gonna be insanely awesome. Because game 1 and 2 were pretty tense. Game number 3, so ready. So ready for him. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position, it's the pink Zerg player representing Team Evil Geniuses. None other than Stephano. And his opponent, to the top right, the purple Terran player representing Team Evil Geniuses, we have DeMusliM. Basically, game 1 and 2 we saw DeMusliM go for proxies of some variety. So I think quite wisely now, Stephano being ever vigilant that perhaps it'll happen again. If you can get proxy 2 raxed on Frost, you can definitely get proxy 2 raxed on Overgrowth. So he's checking around. Overlord's not even bothering with that scouting malarkey or trying to get over. They're just doing everything they can to make sure that they know about any barracks. Stephano really checking every nook and cranny there could possibly be. Probably feeling quite safe at the moment. Scouted everywhere he could and will go and take that natural base. Nice timing on that, getting back right on cue. Meanwhile, DeMusliM going to be going for a Reaper expand. How do I know that? Simple. He went Vrax into a gas. Makes it nice and easy to predict this sort of thing. So, as this goes forward, really it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen. Game 2, it was a proxy Reaper play, which obviously did do a little bit of damage but nowhere near enough. Because it's built in base, this is standard as standard goes from DeMusliM now. Not doing anything crazy, not trying to get a quick win, but playing it out, for now, very normal. So Stephano though, he's got his natural hatchery down, it's about 2/3 done. Spawning pool on its way, gas on its way. Most games so far, he's just got up to 100 gas in order to get speed down, and then transitions into trying getting a faster third. Speed really is essential to dealing with those Reapers, and also the Reaper Hellion follow-up that really, 9 times out of 10, will be coming after those Reapers. The only time that won't be happening is if you only see one Reaper, but even as a Zerg, if you only see one Reaper, it doesn't mean the second one's not hiding in their base somewhere. So it's important for us to keep an eye on this barracks if it produces another, or if it's just the one. Natural base on its way down. DeMusliM just going pretty standard. Meanwhile, Stephano adding in some drones as well as 2 additional lings. That takes him up to 4 in total, where he's going to be trying to stop this Reaper. Second one on its way over across now. So keeping a good eye on everything that this Reaper is able to achieve. Good control though on Stephano's side is preventing this Reaper from doing much yet. And with the Queen out, it's going to be prevented even further. Down he jumps, backing away, waiting for the combat drugs to heal him up nicely. DeMusliM adding in that factory, adding in that reactor, so he should be seeing 4 or 6 Hellions following this up, just to make sure that you can't get that much damage down. Basically those Reapers and Hellions are designed just to try and poke and harass. They're trying to force as many lings and prevent as many drones or kill as many drones as they can. To just prevent a Zerg player getting to that saturation where they're just going to be flooding units after units after units after units. 10 drones on their way now. Stephano not too worried about this. And the Reaper hasn't actually been that proactive. Also worth noting, the second Reaper that came out hasn't actually got involved in this, I don't think. Only one has been coming at a time, apart from just a brief moment when they both came in. Stephano now going to be trying to secure up a third base. The third also on its way from DeMusliM, and Stephano scouted this. He knows it's coming. Stephano also got a little supply block there, having lost, I believe, one scouting Overlord or an Overlord somewhere on the map. Another one in a little bit of danger here. Probably could have got taken out. Wait to see whether the Marine follows him round, but isn't doing so as of yet, nor is there a second Marine in production. Actually, quite a fair few Terran players have got into the habit now of, when the reactor first finishes, just jumping out with 2 Marines, if they started Reapers, in order to go Overlord hunting, as opposed to rushing the Hellions as fast as possible. That Overlord should be safe going away, coming up to his nice, safe little Overlord shelf there. Meanwhile, Bunker completing the wall off at the front for DeMusliM, who's adding in those 6 additional Hellions to start pushing across the map with these 2 Reapers to apply some pressure. This game, Stephano with the double Evo chamber, gonna be waiting to wall off. Can do it with 3 Queens and those 2 Evo chambers on Overgrowth, and that'll prevent the Hellions and Reapers getting into his natural. The 3rd is still in construction, so won't actually be able to get taken out by this force unless Stephano decides to just leave it there pretty much forever, attacking away at it. So nice and safe. The Queens as well prevent these Hellions and Reapers really pushing past. Too many would die in the process of trying to go through. So nicely done there by DeMusliM, and also nicely defended by Stephano. DeMusliM, I don't think, lost anything, and that's the important thing. As long as that harassment doesn't lose anything, you can keep a lot of map pressure and presence as a Terran, and that lets you keep tabs on what a Zerg's do. You can prevent creep getting too far forward, and it's all good. DeMusliM with the double engineering bay yet again. Also, his 3rd CC floating down to take his 3rd base, and he's looking like he's playing this out for the mid game. Double upgrades, 3 bases fast, that's what it's all about. Hellions going in, playing a bold move to take out this creep. DeMusliM really doesn't want a creep highway starting to spread across the map, and so ultimately, if you deny this creep, you buy yourself some time, but it did cost a single Hellion, which isn't the end of the world, and it is forcing these Queens to expend a bit more energy in order to keep it going forward. So, Stephano knows about this 3rd. He would have seen it floating over unless it went a really weird way, which I don't believe it did. We've got a couple more Marines coming out, more barracks, as well as the first 2 medevacs just starting in production now alongside that 1-1. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a 1-1 timing with 2 medevacs. All nice and standard. A couple more Hellions have been taken out. There's only 4 there, so 2 have died. And Stephano busy taking his 4th base in response to this fast 3rd from his Terran opponent. Things gonna be settling down a bit. At least if Stephano keeps spending drones and doesn't go for a lot of Lings and Banelings like we saw last game. But he hasn't actually got the Baneling nest down yet. Oh no, he does, never mind. Baneling nest is in existence, down in the natural base. So, could be another big push coming through. Stephano does like being aggressive. However, I think DeMusliM better prepared this game. He's got a nice bunkered off position there to protect from any assault into his 3rd. His natural base is walled off, although not really that much ready to defend. However, Widow Mines are on the way. That gives him some nice splash, and he's also being active out on the map with those 1-1 upgrades a couple of seconds away from kicking in, and the 2 medevacs with the expected timing push. Stephano getting out more Lings in order to defend this. He's got 10 Banelings ready and waiting, and he can afford to do this because he's already at 75 drones. Adding some more in, ready to saturate this 4th, but for the most part, his economy thriving, and going to be now switching his attention to a lot more unit production. Both players being very conservative with their aggression and also their commitment with their units. Only 408 resources lost this entire game so far on both sides. So neither really taking significant losses. Little push in here now. We're going to see a bold move by DeMusliM. He's focusing down that spine, gets it fast, takes out a couple of creep tumors thanks to the scan, and backs on out. He's simultaneously pushing into the 4th base. There's not really anything to defend here, although the Baneling's coming, but a fast pickup saves the lives of all of those Marines. 1 Baneling detonates on a lone Marine, and that's a worthwhile trade. However, Mutalisks coming to try and defend this drop. Simultaneously, on the right, the multi-prong attack is continuing. The Mutas now coming through, a lot of Lings on the ground. This medevac trying to get away. Is it going to be able to escape? It's the full one. It's the one he wants to get out. Drops out these units as fast as possible, but boom. Dead and gone. 1 drop cleared up. Now Stephano only has to worry about the right-hand side. 2 medevacs ready and waiting. But a lot of the units have gone out. But a triple drop now following it on. If this trend continues of a new medevac every attempt, it's going to get scary after attempt 4 or 5 for Stephano. But he's being very active with his mutas and all of his units. His creep spread's got him some good vision. He's holding both watchtowers, so can't actually see these going through yet, but will do shortly. Another drop attempted on the right, the triple drop into the 4th base, attempting to take out this hatchery. A nice amount of damage being done. And there's no units here yet. They're on their way across, but the hatch will fall. The pickup not going through yet. Still wanting to keep the pressure on, forcing the units to be over here. But there we go. Hot pickup into the main base. Mutalisks ready to start dealing with these medevacs. And if the medevacs go down, it's really not a great position for DeMusliM, because the medevacs cost a lot of gas, and if their numbers are constantly kept low, your infantry has to use stim so sparingly. You cannot really do too much. Another push through, and this is just relentless multi-prong harassment being shown by the Terran. But Stephano, he's staying on top of it. He's lost 20 workers, so his drone count does need to get back up, especially since he's lost that fourth. Gotta be keeping his economy looking strong. However, resources lost, it's actually DeMusliM who's taking the bigger hits. Due to that, DeMusliM needs to make sure that he keeps trading as effectively as possible. He's done some nice damage, but can he actually close out this game? Stephano has now got a very sizable force, up at 109 army supply to 99. His muta count alone is at 29. That's terrifying for these medevacs. The baneling count, only at 10, but there's just so many lings coming in towards this third base. The army of DeMusliM is frantically trying to get back, stimming across to get into position. But there's just so much Zerg. That orbital command having to get repaired up as fast as possible. But boom, down goes some baneling detonations, and Stephano backs away. He's taken out the third of DeMusliM, and that's really what he was gunning for. Unfortunately losing a couple of mutas on his retreat, but that is acceptable losses. Because those losses going through only knock Stephano down to 24 mutas. He's got 20 more banelings on the way, and while DeMusliM is pushing round the left in order to take out the fourth, the creep spread is going to give Stephano quite a lot of advance notice. Add in that he's counterattacking, and DeMusliM either has to go for this now, or has to quickly pull back and retreat. Looks like he's feeling his odds on going for the damage. Loads up everything to head into every base at once. Can he do enough? Banelings rolling forward. They've got to be careful not to detonate on the Hellbats. A quick little pickup. Stephano rampaging through the main of DeMusliM. DeMusliM, though, also dropping out into Stephano's main. This could end in a flat-up base race. It's going to be very close. But Stephano expanding down to the right. His overall army supply up by over 30. The Mutalisks may very well reign supreme. So many lings tearing through everything. They're just gutting DeMusliM's production. Because if he can't produce, it's only the standing army. Which Stephano, by the looks of things, is pretty confident he can take. Back now with the mutas. Back now with those lings. Are we going to be seeing Stephano qualify for WCS EU here? Or will DeMusliM take it? A quick pickup on those medevacs. They're backing away. But that means the mutas can lay chase. If the medevacs go down, it's pretty much over. The mutas trying to get as much damage as they can, picking off these marines one by one. Army supply now 40 to 78 in Stephano's favour. And a lot of that supply is there in medevacs. GG, well played from DeMusliM. And Stephano is going to advance 2-1 to take the Challenger League spot in WCS EU Season 2.